Canada will soon be the first country to require health warnings to be printed directly on individual cigarettes. The regulations are part of the country's goal to lower its nationwide tobacco usage to less than 5% by 2035. The warnings include messages such as poison in every puff and tobacco smoke harms children. The new rules go into effect on August 1st. Canada's Mental Health and Addictions Minister says tobacco use kills 48,000 Canadians each year. In a statement, Imperial Tobacco Canada called for the government to consider adopting a, quote, tobacco harm reduction regulatory strategy. They say this includes promoting vaping as an alternative. Here in the States, one congressman says disposable vapes disproportionately harm black communities. The Food and Drug Administration is cracking down on disposable vapes from China. The FDA issued an import alert on companies such as Elf Bar. Elf Bars are imported to the U.S. without being inspected by an American organization. Now, several lawmakers want a complete ban on disposable vapes. Joining me now is Representative Troy Carter, Sr. of Louisiana, who is co-sponsoring a bill to ban disposable vapes. Congressman, it is a pleasure to see you. Welcome to theGrio. Talk to me about what's going on here, because there are some people, even lawmakers in Canada, who consider vaping to be a safer alternative to smoking. But it sounds like it's more complicated than that.
Well, the optimum word there is safer. And we should not be attempting to achieve safer. We should be looking to achieve safe and healthy. And we know that these vapes are, in many cases, untested. We don't know the impacts yet of what vapes will do to one's lungs, or particularly to our young people who are being enticed to have nicotine hidden in fruity flavors, Fruity Pebble, strawberry, Tutti Frutti. Things that are encouraging young people.
Congressman, no, just to be clear from our audience, you're saying we don't know how bad it could be. That's true, but we know already that it's bad. Like, there's no mystery that vaping is still unhealthy.
And that's exactly right. So they're saying it's safer. Well, what are you using that? What's the barometer to determine safer? We know that these vapes are not good. We don't know how bad they are because many of them are new and untested. But the reality is they are being exposed to communities of black and brown and to young people, and they're being lured in with the promise of a sugary treat. Well, we know that these sugary treats are dangerous. We also know that they're disproportionately marketed in communities of black and brown, and we are very concerned about that, and that's what the Disposable End Product Enforcement Act does. It seeks to get agencies to delve in, to enforce, to make sure that we're regulating and we're stopping this disproportionate use of a product that we know is unhealthy.
I'm glad you said that disproportionate piece, because, you know, the FDA has ad campaigns about the dangers of vaping. When you look at the campaigns, you see black, white, red, yellow. You would think that vaping is affecting all communities at an equal rate. But you're saying we're particularly hurt, we as in black communities. Why do you say that?
Well, because if you look at the marketing, if you look at the direct marketing, rather it's social media, direct marketing, it is directly going to demographics that they think are vulnerable, demographics that they think will buy this product, the corner stores that they're easily accessed by. These are resources that they are using to specifically target. They're not in suburbia. They're not going into those communities. They're directly marketing to young African American, Hispanic, Latino, Hispanics. It is so clear that this effort is directed at a certain demographic. And we know, even with the limited data that we have, we know that it's unhealthy. Exposing young people to nicotine in any form is unhealthy. Tricking them by having it in some type of sugary flavored that hopes that they get addicted and then later will move on to cigarettes or continue to use vape. These things are disposable, they're cheap, they're accessible. It's like going to, in our day and time, where we would go to the corner store and get a pack of Now Laters or Blow Pop. Well, now they're going into the neighborhood store and they're getting this disposable vape that is infused with flavors while disguising and masking the mental and physical health issues that they can perpetrate.
You talked about the fruity flavors, the Fruity Pebbles type flavors. You're right. Elf Bar in particular also uses really bright colors to market. It's like they clearly are saying we want children, at least in my estimation. That's what it looks like. They also have flavors like fried chicken and pizza, which you could argue is not only targeted to young people, but again, fried chicken flavored vapes, they ain't targeting
it certainly
to
feels
white suburban
stereotypical,
moms.
doesn't it?
Yes,
Exactly. That here we go again, fried chicken and
How is this not illegal?
In your vape,
How is it not illegal? Isn't there laws against this already?
Well, you know what? At a minimum, we certainly know it's insensitive. We certainly know that it's disrespectful. We certainly know that we as black lawmakers and journalists and fathers as me should recognize that this is unacceptable. And that's why we are moving forward with legislation. I'm very proud to be a co-sponsor with my dear friend from Florida, Congresswoman Sheila Shifless McCormick, who's an outstanding leader who's really taken this on as the lead author. And we're bolstering her and working closely with her to demonstrate the bipartisan support that we have from both Republican and Democratic sides to come forward and suggest that this is unfair, and we're not going to idly sit back and let them once again, because when we go back to early use and promotion of tobacco products, it was the same thing. It was the cool camel with the sunglasses and the cigarette, or the tough cowboy that promoted the suggestion if you smoked cigarettes, somehow you're cool or you're tough. Well, now it's a change, and we're saying, hey, have this because it's tasty and it's bright and it's colorful. So denotes that maybe it's some type of toy. And in some cases, we're finding that the use of these products are with kids as young as 8 and 9 years old.
That is terrifying. You're right. Their advertising and marketing in our community is so smooth sometimes. Like the Cool Jazz Festival went on for so long, I didn't even associate it with cigarettes for a long time, but they were building up a base. They were targeting our community, using our own culture. I mean, it's so fascinating to watch how rich they do it. But before we go, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for an investigation into Elf Bar. And the federal government has campaigns, of course, on the dangers of vaping. But I don't want to let my community off the hook. Those are people who are watching, the parents, the community leaders, the people who just care about children. Is there anything else we can do to change this?
Yes, we can. We can pay attention to what our children are buying. We can pay attention to what our children have in their book bags. We can pay attention to what our kids are doing with the money that we give them to buy a snack after church or after school. Parents have to play a more aggressive and active role in what their children are doing. We cannot expect industry to look out for our children. Government will fight to make sure that we have regulations that are safe, but parents have a responsibility to watch, to pay attention, because everything that a kid can buy in the store isn't good for them. Everything that a kid can be exposed to on television isn't good for them. Every song they listen to, every TV show they watch, and everything that they ingest is not necessarily good for them because it's allowed to be sold in stores. That's not the platinum standard. The platinum standard are parents paying attention to what's going on and to watch this unfair, disproportionate marketing that's going on that negatively impacts our youth.